Hello everyone, welcome to Tutorials in Hand. In this video tutorial we are going to see how to write a C program to find product of two user entered numbers. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. So first of all, before directly moving on to the programming part, let's understand the stepwise approach and the stepwise things that we are going to perform. So first of all, let's say we want to have the product of two numbers. So what is the step 1? So step 1 is nothing but we should have those two numbers, right? So we'll ask the user to enter those two numbers. So we'll take two number as input, right? Now what's the second step? Now let's say that you got those two numbers, so you have to then find the product, right? So we'll product finding, and finally if we got the product, so that is what we want, so we'll print it. So this is the overall steps that we have to perform. So let's start writing the program. So first of all, the very basic thing that we have to do is to include the header files that will be required in our program. So the very basic header file is what? So it's nothing but stdio.h. So this is the header file which allows us to use functions like printf and scanf. So that is what is required very much. So let's start our main method first of all. Now let's see what we have to do in step 1. So it's nothing but to take input, right? So first of all, let's declare two numbers as num1 and num2. And we are aware that these two numbers is going to be of integer type. That's why we declared it using int. Now what we have to do? We have to take input. So let's ask the user to do what? To give two numbers. Now let's say the user has entered two numbers 10 and 20. Now we as a programmer have to make sure that 10 gets stored in this variable num1 and 20 gets stored in this variable num2. So this thing we can perform with help of a function called scanf. So we'll simply write scanf and then we'll provide modulus d. So we are basically writing d just because the number is of integer type. Had the number been of floating type, then we would have written f. So since we are accepting two numbers, that's why we will write twice. And now what we are wanting, so we are wanting that the first number should be stored in num1 variable, right? And the second number should be stored in num2. So from this line, what we are doing, we are asking the user to enter two numbers, and those two numbers we are storing it in num1 and num2. Right now let's move to step 2, which is finding the product. So first of all, let's declare a variable called product, okay, and initialize it to 1. So in this prod variable only we will store the product. So let's store it. Now in programming or in C language, we can find the product of any two numbers by using a symbol called asterisk. So with help of asterisk we can do the multiplication of two numbers. So over here we have to do the multiplication of num1 and num2. So we'll simply write that as a semicolon. Now this is what we wanted, so let's print it up. Now let's run this program to see everything working. And here you can see that it's asking me to enter two numbers. Let those two numbers be 10 and 20 as we have discussed earlier with the example. And boom, here you can see that the product is 200. Now let's try out with another input. So let the first number be 0 and the second number be 1000. And boom, here you can see that the product is 0. So this is how we can write a program in C language to find product of two user entered numbers. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.